So I have this desk in the main section of our apartment. This is where I usually game on my PS4, but as we started to find the style of our apartment, the look of the desk doesn't really fit in anymore. Plus, as we work from home a lot more now, a dedicated gaming desk doesn't really make a ton of sense. So I took it upon myself to design a new setup that addressed our new needs. The plan was to make a work from home space that doubles as a gaming setup, make it fit in with the style of our apartment since it's in the center of our space, and make it practical. It can't be a hassle to switch between setups. So I landed on a shelf desk combo for super cheap from Wayfair. This seemed like a good way to fill up the empty space on the wall, and we could style it to look a little bit less gamey. I really wanted the PS4 to be hidden and tucked away for a stealth look. I thought that'd be pretty cool. So now it's time to build. Once the shelf arrived, it just took a couple of bolts and some help from my cat to assemble it. After some measurements, I drilled some anchor holes and then mounted it to the wall. Since the shelf actually mounts flush to the wall, I needed to drill a small hole in the back to run the cables through. Next up is mounting the PS4 underneath of here using these guys. So the mount I use is from a company called Glisco. They sell mounts for a ton of different systems, so if you have something different than a PS4 but you want to do the same thing, you can. So the mount comes with double-sided sticky tape to get the fitment right, and then you screw it in. The new desk has a weird bar that kind of made it tricky to mount the PS4, so I actually had to take off the top section of it. Usually you wouldn't have to do this, but I had to. So if you're following along, you can just skip this step. So I stuck the mount on and fastened it in place. Next came the cables. I needed to find space to power the monitor, the PS4, the Amazon Echo, and a small desk-mounted power bar. I ran all the cables through the back and then secured them using a bunch of cable management items. I ran the cable for the power bar down the wall and covered it up using a white cable management tray. At this point, all of the infrastructure work on the desk was complete, and now it's time to finish. So here's how it all turned out. Starting with the productivity side, Taylor and I both have MacBooks, so that's what would power the work from home setup. I like to put mine on the top shelf connected via USB-C to the monitor. The monitor is the least exciting thing here. It's an older Dell U2415. That means it's a 24-inch IPS monitor that works pretty well with the Mac and okay with the PS4. It's not high refresh rate or high resolution, but it's the one I had lying around, so that's what we're using. When it gets replaced eventually, I'll probably go with the 4K LG Ultrafine like I just recently got for the office, but for now it's good. I'm using the Keychron K2 and the Logitech MX Anywhere mouse for peripherals on the setup. The Keychron is an awesome keyboard. It's super clicky and satisfying to type on. Plus, I really like the way it looks. The LG MX Anywhere is just a solid, cheap Bluetooth mouse that I've had for a few years and it has yet to let me down. An important note for both these devices is that they can each save 3 different Bluetooth memory settings, so that means that Taylor and I can hot swap when we are both using the desk at different times. As I mentioned before, I keep my Echo speaker here. I got mine hooked up to a bunch of different smart home things around the apartment, which is honestly a lot of fun, but that's for a different video. I have this small power bar here for quick access to power, whether it be for a wireless charger, to charge the Macs, or any of the Bluetooth devices that I have sitting around the desk. I made the mistake in my last few builds of not including enough access to power without going under the desk, so this was a must-have in the new setup. On the desk surface, I'm using the Grove Made desk pad just for comfort and overall utility with the mouse. I really don't like the feel of mouse on wood, so the Grove Made pad was the way to go. In retrospect, I might have chosen a light gray instead of the dark gray, but oh well. Everything else here was styled by my girlfriend Taylor, who doesn't like to be on camera. She put some books, a plant, 2 vintage cameras, and a couple other miscellaneous things to sort of tie it together. So far the use case is really good. Switching between gaming mode and working from home mode is easy enough. I keep the USB-C cable tucked away behind the monitor, so a quick connection to the Mac on the shelf, a monitor input change, and we are good to go. Oh, and I picked up this great office chair from HomeSense. It was pretty cheap, and it just sort of fits the vibe. It doesn't have a ton of adjustment or support, but considering I'm not really sitting here for longer than just a few hours, it's pretty good. I don't have a ton to add on the gaming side. I'm using a PS4 Slim, but eventually I'll get a PS5. At the moment, I'm really just playing Fortnite, so a PS4 versus PS5 for me isn't the most important thing, especially since I'm not that good at the game, so I'm not really worried about having the best stuff. Yeah, so overall, I'm pretty happy with the space. I think going from a random desk with a monitor to a more decorative and functional setup feels pretty good. If it's like a nice day, for example, and you want to have natural light coming in as you work, it's better to be here than it is to be tucked away in the office where it's just always dark. Now we have 2 places to dock a Mac around the apartment, so Taylor and I can both work at the same time, or one of us can game, one of us can work, and it just all kind of works better now. I've only had this set up for a few weeks now, but so far it's going pretty well. If you guys have any ideas on how you'd want to improve or maybe change the space up a little bit, let me know in the comments because I'm here for it. On your way down there, if you like this video, hit the like button and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.